Let's start on some good news. An FDA panel has given the okay to Pfizer's COVID vaccine, and Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar expects we're just days away from an emergency authorization. Take a look.
Just a little bit ago, the FDA informed Pfizer that they do intend to proceed towards an authorization for their vaccine. So in the next couple of days, probably, as we work to negotiate with Pfizer the information doctors need to prescribe it appropriately, we should be seeing the authorization of this first vaccine. And we'll, as you just said, we will work with Pfizer to get that shipped out. And so we could be seeing people getting vaccinated Monday, Tuesday of next week.
Right. Well, this is certainly hopeful news, but there are questions of accessibility since the average American is still months away from getting it. But folks like Rudy Giuliani are bragging about getting the celebrity treatment. Well, I mean, what does this mean? What does he mean by all of this, Joy?
Well, first of all, Rudy Giuliani is not a celebrity, okay? He's a lawyer with dripping hair and needs a stylist to fix it up for him. That is not a celebrity. A celebrity is Kim Kardashian, Brad Pitt, people who have either looks or talent. He has neither. So stop calling yourself a celebrity, number one. The other thing is I thought that Trump was going to stick up for the little guy. Apparently, Regeneron is quite out there for the swamp. So, okay. Not to be Nancy negative here, this is good news about the vaccine. You know me, I'm usually Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm. But in this case, this Azar guy is part of the problem, okay? He and the cabal of Trump supporters and people who follow the lies have been telling people don't wear your masks and the vaccine is probably not going to work, or whatever lies they're telling them. So we're going to have a lot of trouble. Even when we are all vaccinated, we still have to wear a mask and socially distance. What makes anybody think that these people are going to comply even then? And then you need something like 70 or 80% of the population to get vaccinated to have herd immunity. Good luck with that. This is going to be a long haul. Maybe when Biden is in there, he can turn the discussion around. But right now, we are at the mercy of some stupid people out there, including the President of the United States.
And what do you think about
That's
all this, Sarah?
Well, first, I'm changing my name from Sarah to Joy because I feel that the good news is we might be actually seeing the first time there's a unified messaging. We've watched as there was a divide between who took this virus seriously and most specifically in regard to wearing a mask. Now you've got the current administration wanting to take credit for this vaccine. So they want to see it succeed. And then you have the people that always took it seriously anyway. So we're waiting for this vaccine. For once, we might all be on board and actually take this vaccine. It's right in our sight. It's coming down the pipes. And in regard to Giuliani, the thing about the part that bothers me, and we talked about this earlier in the week, is you've got people that have flagrantly disregarded the science of this virus since the beginning and have not only done that in their personal lives, they've used their platforms, their very powerful platforms, to spread that misinformation. And those people would normally take up the resources the average person is struggling to get right now.
Right.
Giuliani gets to jump the line. So like President Trump when he contracted COVID, Chris Christie, Ben Carson, they're getting access to something that is not readily available. That Regeneron that you were mentioning, Joy, there's 260 doses, 337 doses in the country, 337,000, that like total across this country right now. So in states that have it, like Colorado, they're actually having to create a ranking system for people that would have access. In Utah, they're using a lottery. Well, so although they're touting this mismessaging, not everyone gets access to this.
Can I ask a stupid question? If this thing exists and you can take it in 3 days, you're up and out of the hospital, why haven't they been developing that since everybody keeps talking about wanting to reopen the economy? If you have something that can get people up and out of the bed and out of the hospitals, which people keep saying are overcrowded, why haven't they concentrated on creating more of that? That's my question. But Anna,
I can answer
what's
that.
your thought on all of this?
Listen,
Okay.
you know, remember my husband got remdesivir. The problem with remdesivir and what Rudy got, what Christie got, is that you've got to be in the hospital for 5 days to get the doses. So it is, there's not the hospital capacity to have everybody who's got COVID in the hospital. There's not, and it's so very costly. But listen. Two things that we're talking about. One is this vaccine and the vaccine coming to America. When I saw earlier this week the Brits start to getting the vaccines, there was a wonderful story. William Shakespeare, the second man in Britain to get the vaccine, it filled my heart with joy. It made me emotional. I didn't realize I had all this pent-up emotion. You know, it thawed out my cold ice heart to see these, these elderly Brits just so happy getting this vaccine, and it gave me a sense of hope. Now, as to Rudy, mira, I'm glad he's out of the woods. I don't want anybody to suffer with COVID because my family has. But let me just tell you something. It is ignominious. It is insufferable that somebody who's been as reckless, as selfish, as ridiculous, who's been spewing spittle, sweating, and passing gas through 4 or 5 different states is able to get celebrity treatment and privileged treatment that other people who he has exposed do not. That is disgraceful, and he should be shamed for that. And all these people going to Christmas parties at the White House and going to all these super spreader events, knowing that because they're somehow in Trump's orbit, they can get access to a cocktail of drugs that other Americans can't. Shame on you. Shame on you, because you are exposing people. There's legislatures all over the place that have had to close this week because Rudy Giuliani was in there doing his shtick.
You know, Whoopi,
So
I have an idea. Instead of giving Giuliani Regeneron, they should give him Beano. Right, Anna? That would help his situation, I think.
I think he needs more than that.